Hello crypto traders, this is Matthew with Crypto Traders Pro, and today we're going to be going over tip number 3 on our how to grow a small cryptocurrency trading portfolio series. Now this episode is going to be talking about my background with trading and what really helped me propel my small cryptocurrency trading account from a mere $1,250. This episode is going to be entirely focused on patience. Patience is very undervalued, I think, in the cryptocurrency trading space because a lot of people see these coins, they go 50, 100%, 200%, 500% sometimes in the matter of a week or a month, and people want instantaneous gratification or instant gains. Everybody wants to get that next biggest runner, and they think they're going to be able to grow their account like from 1,000 all the way to 10,000, but it's not likely that someone's going to be able to take their $1,000 account and turn it to $10,000 in the matter of a month. It's hard to do, especially when you have such a small amount, because what a lot of people don't understand is you have to take those gains and roll them over into another play that's moving, or take them gains and just compound your gains over time. So what I want to kind of do in this video is go through my backstory into cryptocurrency and how long it really took me to grow my small cryptocurrency trading portfolio. So here on the screen I have up my first introduction to cryptocurrency. Now, I actually didn't start by buying cryptocurrency or Bitcoin on an exchange like Coinbase. How I got involved was I was on a website called BetOnline. This is a screenshot of my account, and what I did back in March 2000 or May 2016, I placed a bet that Donald Trump would become president of the United States. Now, in November 2016, I obviously won that bet, and what I did, I put my entire week-long paycheck, or my whole week paycheck into this bet. It was only like $500. I didn't make much at the time, but I put this whole $500 on Donald Trump winning president because I went to a rally of his and saw the turnout, and it was just absolutely crazy. There was so many people, so many supporters, and I knew at that time, like, wow, this guy is going to win. There's just so many supporters. I was just confident. I was willing to take the risk. So I put that $500 in. I won. What I ended up winning was I got $1,000 from that, and then I had an additional $250 I pulled out. So I made $1,000. So what I decided to do was pull all of these gains out in Bitcoin because I figured it would be easier and faster than pulling it out in a check. Now, I didn't know anything about Bitcoin at the time other than that it was just digital money or another form of value. I'd be able to kind of just park my money in for the time being. So on November 22nd, 2016, I pulled out $1,000 in Bitcoin, and then a couple weeks later, I pulled out another $250 in Bitcoin. So let's head over to the Bitcoin chart and see exactly when I was able to get in. So this is all the way back now in November on the 22nd. This is when I actually was able to get the Bitcoin. It was roughly $720 at the time. I got $1,000 of Bitcoin. That's like 1.3 Bitcoin. Then I got another $250 right here. It was about $780. So I have my Bitcoin, but at this time I didn't really know much about it. And I wasn't really interested in learning because at this time I was trading stocks and entirely focused on day trading the stock market. That's where I was making my money. That's where I had the experience, and that's what I was focused on becoming. I was planning on going full-time in the stock market. I started to become consistently profitable at this time, trading small cap stocks, and I was planning the following year to quit my job and go full-time trading stocks because I was starting to make more money doing that than at my job. So I wasn't even focused on cryptocurrency. I didn't know anything really about it, and I just had bought this Bitcoin, and I kind of just sat there. So this Bitcoin sat there, and I noticed it started going up in value, and early in 2017, I started to pay attention to it because I saw some news coming out that Bitcoin was proposing an ETF, and that interested me because ETF is an exchange-traded fund on the stock market. So I was interested in Bitcoin, thinking, okay, maybe it does get listed. I started doing some research, and I saw the odds of it getting listed on the stock market as an exchange-traded fund were very small. And I also know how to read a chart. So I saw Bitcoin was really moving up in price. I had essentially almost doubled my money up until this point that I put in, and I saw the odds of this actually becoming accepted were very, very low. So what I did, I decided to take my profits. And this is what I'm talking about, is always compounding your profits. I took my profits out. I made about double my gains. So now I have close to a $3,000 account. Let's say about $2,500, between $2,000 and $2,500 account. So I pulled out my Bitcoin, and I'm like, okay, well, now what? I could just buy it back on the dip, or I could go into something else. And at this time, I was on Coinbase, and I decided to get Ethereum. So I put all the gains I made on this play into Ethereum, and then I started to do a little bit more research. I saw Ethereum was really starting to get hot, starting to move up on the charts. A lot of hype was coming into it. I started doing some research into it and looked into what Ethereum was all about. And early in March, or mid-March, I put all that money into Ethereum. It was about $33 at the time. So now I got this Ethereum, and I'm starting to do more research. Again, I'm still trading stocks, not entirely focused on crypto yet. This is all part of like growing that small account. I was just being patient. I wasn't trying to hop in and out of trades. In fact, I didn't even know the entire altcoin market existed at this point because I was entirely focused on the stock market. So I have this Ethereum. I notice it's going up. I'm like, okay. It's now gone up over the course of about 2 months or a month and a half. It went from $30 to about $90. And I saw it was getting near 100. I'm like, wow, I just tripled my money in about a month and a half. This really doesn't happen in the stock market. When stocks go up this fast, usually they come down pretty fast. So I figured out, you know what, I'm going to take my profits. I'm going to be conservative. And what actually happened was I missed like one of the biggest trades of my life because I would have been able to, it then ran from $100 to $400 in the following couple weeks. So I was pretty bummed out about that, but you can't really look at it like that because we didn't know. There's no way I would have known it goes from 100 to 400 in the next couple weeks. But I tripled my money, so now I have almost $10,000 in my account. And now I'm like, okay, I built my account up, and I want to get over this $10,000 mark. And I was slowly at this point starting to pay more attention to crypto. The stock market was really starting to slow down, and I started getting into crypto. And then I kind of discovered altcoins. And what I did was then jumped into Litecoin. Now Litecoin at this point, this is on the beginning of May 2017. So at this point, this day actually right here, Litecoin got added to Coinbase on May 2nd, 2017, I believe is the exact date. So Litecoin got added to Coinbase. I made my money on Bitcoin. I made my money on Ethereum. Now Litecoin got added to Coinbase, and I'm thinking, okay, now when Ethereum got added to Coinbase, it got a lot of hype behind it. It just skyrocketed. So I'm looking at Coinbase like this is a catalyst. When coins get added to Coinbase, they go up. I was putting like 2 and 2 together in my head. So I bought into Litecoin. It was about $22 to $24 at the time. And again, I put all my money into there that I had previously made on Ethereum. So it's almost $10,000 at this point. Probably, let's say about $7,000 to $8,000. I put this all into Litecoin, and what I did, I just held. I was still kind of, this is when I just transitioned into full-time. I was still trading stocks, but the stock market was really starting to slow down. And I started doing more research into crypto. I wasn't trading it, but I was researching, figuring out what this was all about, what the technology was doing. And then I kind of realized, okay, this is like kind of an underground stock market. There's all these coins, and there's so many options. They're all just popping off left and right. And this is like a very new and emerging technology. So what I started to do here was Litecoin then went up to $50. I got my money again, almost doubled it, or I did double it here on Litecoin as well. And then I had over a $10,000 account, probably about $15,000 to $20,000 at this time. And then I kind of made that transition. So what I did was liquidate my brokerage account. I actually sold my car. I started putting more and more money aside for cryptocurrency, started putting more money in because I realized that this technology was just heating up and I was still very, very early in the space. So what I did, I bought some more Bitcoin when I sold my car. I ended up moving across the country from Florida to Michigan because the cost of living is much cheaper. And I really told myself I'm going to live very, I guess, poor or very stingy. I'm not going to be spending much money. I'm not going to be going out. I'm not going to be buying things I don't need. I'm going to keep my expenses to a minimum, and I really want to give this a go at becoming a full-time trader. Now, I had quite a bit of money set aside because I was working this entire year. I was planning to go full-time in the stock market for an entire year prior to doing so. But it just so happened I ended up kind of transitioning to cryptocurrency. So at this time, I had plenty of money saved up. I was ready to live very below my means and not spend my money on much and just focus on trading and focus on building my portfolio and just being consistently profitable. So at this time, I made my profits on Litecoin. I took all that out, and then I started getting to altcoins. At this time, Poloniex was the very hot exchange. I was putting money on there, getting into altcoins, and really starting to making and growing my portfolio. So once I was able to get past that 15,000, 20,000 mark, it really gave me some money to work with. And then I kind of explored the altcoin market and started making money there. So I did hit some bumps along the road in August, I think, late summer when Bitcoin kind of had that pullback. A lot of the market did as well. I did take also a month off. I think in July, it was my birthday month. I did a bunch of traveling around the States and went on a couple vacations. And what I did, I just put all my money in Bitcoin. I remember collecting the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. I wanted to get that. So I got all my free coins, and that really helped my portfolio as well. What I'm really wanting to stress with the story here, I know I did get in the market during a really hot time. I wasn't really doing a lot of trading. I was doing more holding, managing my portfolio still. I was holding coins for at least a few weeks or a couple months at a time. But this is something you really need to understand is when you're growing that small account, this is what it takes. It takes patience. That's the key word of this video is patience. I was patient enough to not be jumping in and out of plays left and right, looking for these smaller altcoins. I was playing the more conservative, safe play, taking the less risky approach, and focusing on coins that weren't going to be going absolutely crazy. They could just blow up my entire account overnight. I was focused on Coinbase coins, which are generally the most stable and your safest bets. And I held onto these coins to grow my account to $10,000, $15,000. It took me from November 2016, from when Trump won the election, to about May 2017. So that's about 6, 7, 8 months, somewhere around that period. It took me to grow from a $1,250 account to about 15, 20K. So I think that's a very important lesson for you guys is not to try and rush the process. You need to fall in love with the process and really just execute it day by day. You know, if you have a full-time job, which I'm sure most of you do, you don't need to be obsessed with cryptocurrency every day. Yeah, it's awesome to do research, and I encourage you guys to do that. Also doing practice trades, but you don't need to be jumping in and out of trades every day trying to catch every single runner. Pick 1 or 2 coins at a time, put your money in them, and hold them for a few weeks or a few months at a time, because that's where you're going to get the biggest gains in your account. So that wraps up this video, guys. I hope you're able to take something away from my story and my journey into growing my small account, being a cryptocurrency trader, and then eventually transitioning to full-time. And also, I think it's important to know how much can change in a year, because at the end of 2017, I had grown my account substantially, where I was making trades that were upwards of 6 figures on that same account that I had previously grown the entire year before. And you could see that all in the course, Consistent Profits to Financial Freedom. That's the name of the course I made. It's on CryptoTradersPro.com. I encourage you guys to watch that. It'll tell you more of my journey and exactly what I do when I'm looking at charts and how I analyze charts and analyze coins to invest in. But it's all about the process and learning how to do this yourself, because in today's market, it might not be that same strategy that's gonna work best for you, just holding these large caps, because the prices are a lot more inflated now, so it might take a little bit longer. Either way, you guys need to understand that it takes time to grow the account. You really have to be patient. You can't expect this to happen overnight. It takes a long time. So that wraps up this video, guys. Make sure you like it. If you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed my story, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates. I'm going to keep doing these videos. I have a lot more lined up for you in terms of this series and also other topics and series we're going to be covering on the page between Kurt and myself. So again, this is Matthew from Crypto Traders Pro, and we'll see you on the moon.